segment, but I would like to draw your attention to page 5 of the Standard. James Orengo is telling us that Ruto has nothing to lose if Jubilee fails to deliver. And does that point to the reason why they're not as close as they used to be? Because right now, President Uhuru Kenyatta is focusing on his legacy, while we are having DP Ruto focusing on his future political ambitions, or at least development, as he puts it.
Well, I think the initial default position, in my view, was that the Deputy President would have liked to characterize himself as the de facto person to, the de jure person to inherit President Uhuru's mantle. And he would do this by showcasing what Jubilee has done, that its manifesto had this and that, and they have achieved them. And he would ride on that development record. Actually, he has constantly tried to say that, the people who have come into, according to him in the handshake, attempts to try and stop the development record and the plans that they have as Jubilee. And if that failed, and I think maybe that perhaps has failed, because you remember that the president changed the manner in which he is running government. He said, let's stop all these launching of projects, some of which were non-existent, and then he transferred the coordination of government, and that kind of jolted, I think, the main game plan. In the absence of that card for him to play, perhaps that's why I think Senior Counsel James Orengo is saying that he has nothing to lose. The sense in which he would have nothing to lose is that incumbency in an election, when a president has served 2 terms, if you're going to go into an election as deputy president, wanting to run as president, then you carry all the blame of the incumbent, all the faults, all the failures, the things they didn't perform. So maybe they're saying this from another perspective, and saying that maybe it's not such a bad thing after all. If the president and the relationship has broken down, then when we go into the re-election, you can't quite box the deputy president as part of the presidency and the things that weren't delivered. You will say, look, in the second term, I probably wasn't part of this government, and you all know it. We were unable to deliver. Jubilee was fractured, and therefore pull out himself. I see a situation in which it could get worse, but I don't think it's a discussion right now that we want to get into, because to get into this would be to play exactly in the hands of what the president doesn't want, talking about 2022 as opposed to focusing on the fight against corruption and focusing on him delivering his agenda.
Absolutely. The fight that has gained a lot of momentum recently, which is also the basis of our Twitter poll question. You're asking, are you impressed with the ongoing war on corruption? Tell us what you think, and I'll be sampling your views. But to what James Orengo said again in this particular interview, he, as you said, it could get worse, and he said cabinet is dysfunctional right now and they are throwing stones at each other. The current one cannot work together to achieve the government's agenda, and of course time will tell as far as that particular issue is concerned. But there's so much more that's being covered in our papers.